Hey y'all, it's Vicky, and welcome to another video. Or welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome. If this is your 100th or 1,000th time here, I appreciate you and welcome back. Alright. Today is Friday, the 27th of February, 2026. It is 45 degrees. And I'm on my way to work, or the prison job, as some people call it. My hair needs a bath. I overslept this morning, and that's the way it is. I was having a dream, a silly dream. I was dreaming I was over in Pigeon Forge, and I was at Media Day at Dollywood, which I was not. It's already happened. But I have watched several videos on it. But I dreamed I was there. And then I dreamed I came home and I got Dave because I had exciting news for him. And we went back over there. And I guess in my head, it's only like an hour there from where I live. But it's 3 hours. 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on if you stop. Now we did drive it back without stopping, so you can do it in about 2 hours and 40 minutes if you don't stop. Anywho, I got him. We went back, and I wanted to show him that up on one of those mountaintops, they were building a hard rock casino. Now, it's not that Dave's that big of a gambler, but he likes to play the games every now and then. I mean, we're surrounded by we got Cherokee only a few hours away. We've got Danville. We got Bristol. That's within 2 hours away. So we could go a lot more, but we might go once a year. I think the first year Danville was open, we went twice. Danville, Virginia, that is. Okay. Now, and we don't play, we're barely playing it to some people. And some people would call what we play as a joke. But we play for fun, it's just something to do that's different. Anyway, anywho, whatever. The reason I feel I was dreaming this was because, first of all, I overslept. I had turned on a video of Ryan from Adventure Is Out There doing his monthly What's New in the Gatlinburg, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge area. And what was new is what he said in that video was that the Hard Rock Cafe in Pigeon Forge was closing, but he didn't have a date. Well, that doesn't surprise me because every time I've been over there, might be 3 cars there. So I knew it's not. I mean, I knew in the back of my mind that it was not getting the business it used to, and so it didn't shock me. Then starts, if I just look at the camera, I would be where I needed to be. So what happens then is, in my head, they're building a casino with the cafe in it to replace that. But what I really think I was thinking was they're finally going to put something back into the Smoky Mountain Opry building, which they say is going to be an entertainment complex. So I'm assuming it's going to be along like the way it was before, which is what they should do. It closed during COVID, and now they're going to, renovate the building and open up something else. So it just says entertainment complex. The same person that owns Margaritaville at the island and some of the island or somewhere along there is the one that's bought it. So take it that for what it's worth. Also, there is a Hard Rock Casino in Bristol, Virginia, which, you know, Bristol, one side of the street is Tennessee and one side is Bristol, Virginia. So I guess all of that was going through my mind, and I don't know. Anyway, I just didn't want to wake up from it, is what I think what it was. That's why I say I overslept. So I had to get up and do one of my marathons of getting ready. And, you know, sometimes I want to do a video on how to get ready in 5 minutes. Now, I probably took a little longer than 5 minutes, but as far as putting on my makeup, I'd say I did it in about 8 minutes. So, anyway, this is what it looks like. I am wearing the Dior Stick Foundation. I also have worn this week the other one that I have, the LWYA or whatever it is, Stick Foundation. And I've also worn the Estee Lauder. So I've been kind of going backwards and forth this week because, like I said, I need to use up some of these foundations. With the reason, and this is what I'm going to get into, because I'm not talking about you know who today, is a lot of foundations, a lot of iconic foundations are being reformulated. And I found out the reason why, and the reason why is because a certain ingredient, I'll put the ingredient up on the screen because I'm not going to try to say it, has been banned in the European Union. And I think it's also banned in other areas, maybe Australia. So instead of having several different formulas for different parts of the world, they decided to reformulate and make one. Because this may be something that they're wanting to do here, is ban this ingredient. Now, I don't know what, I know that it supposedly is not good for our ocean, not good for the fish. I don't know if there's anything as far as humans, but to me, when it starts, if it's bad for fish, it can't be good for us. They have other alternatives they can use, so that's what they've done. They've reformulated. They're using now the other silicones, because that's what it is. It's a silicone. And what do silicones do in foundation? They fill in the wrinkles. They make the skin look more blurred, is what I want to say. And, you know, and this is another reason why I like to use a sponge, because so many of these foundations do have silicones, and if you're just wiping it with a brush, how can it fill in a line? So that's another reason why I like to use a sponge, because you're patting it in, so you're filling in who is this? Anyway, you're filling in the lines to make them look more plump. And that way you don't look like you have as many. So, as I said, that's why they're being reformulated. Now, the one that, of course, the first one we saw was the Armani Luminous Silk. That's a iconic foundation. It's been reformulated. Now, I've not tried it because I was never the big fan of the original. It was fine, but I just didn't see what the hype was. Double Wear, Estee Lauder Double Wear, I did see what the hype was. It was the one I would usually turn to for, you know, just knowing that I needed something that would not fail. That was the one I usually turn to. There's a couple at the drugstore that I do that way too, but I don't know. Because I guess I'm a skin snob or whatever, I always felt better with the Double Wear on. So, of course, I tried the Double Wear. I think it's just as good, and I guess for my age now, I feel it's better. Now, I know some of you have let me know that it's not working for you because your skin is probably oilier than mine. And I understand that, because I think now, if you're extremely oily, it's not going to work. You're definitely going to have to set it. I think it can work, but I think you're going to have to set it, and you may have to touch up. Now, when it's really, really hot, I don't think you're going to be able to wear it if it's hot and humid. because I don't think I'll be able to wear it when it's hot and humid. So, the next one is NARS. The NARS Long Wear Matte Foundation has just been released. The Dior Matte Foundation is, well, you're starting to see it show up on websites. I still think it says coming soon, but it's coming. So it's been reformulated. I'm sure the drugstore will start next. And when I think, the ones I think that I'll have to go through and see if I can figure out which drugstores has this ingredient in it. Because some drugstores, they do have ones for different countries or different areas of the world. So it may be they won't redo that for the United States version. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, I would like to try the Dior. I don't really know if I want to try the NARS. I'd have to look at the ingredients. NARS likes to use coconut water in their foundations. And I'm not... Coconut water just does not agree with my face if I try to use it a lot. It gives me the little Amelia bumps. So, there I've said that. And I know that I may be boring some of you with this information. But I feel like people need to know that these foundations were just not reformulated just for the heck of it. There's a reason behind it. A scientific reason behind it. And I feel like it's easier to accept if you know that there's a scientific reason behind it and not just they're trying to cut cost or they're trying to keep up with the latest trend. Because at first I thought that's what it was. They were trying to keep up with the latest trend of having more skincare. But then I realized after reading, researching, that there is a scientific reason they're reformulating. So, that's all I got to say about that. I've talked long enough because I don't want to make this video so long, but I do appreciate all of you for watching. And I don't have anything new to show because I'm trying not to buy much. And as I said before I buy this Dior, I will use up my stick foundation. And then I'll buy the Dior, and if I immediately don't like it, I'll take it back and exchange it for the stick. Because I will use the stick in the summertime. Anyway, I just feel like the Dior will work more for me because there's more likelihood of it working because I like Dior foundations. They do well on my skin. And this one is a matte, so it will work well for the summer. If I see another one out there, we'll check in. We'll see. We'll see. Someone asked me about Jones Road Beauty. I tried Jones Road Beauty when it first came out. Now I know, and the What the F foundation or What the Foundation, it's too. There's too many oils that just sit on top of the skin for me in that foundation. Now, you're not supposed to use it just a tiny bit, but it's hard to get that just little tiny bit on your face without, getting too much. I can't use it on my nose. So I would end up having to use 2 foundations if I really wanted to use that foundation. That's not worth it to me. Now, I know she's come out with a tinted moisturizer, which I've not tried. I'm not really big on tinted moisturizers because they don't last on my skin because my pores are so large. I say they slurp up foundation if they don't have silicones in there or some kind of drying agent that dries it fast. If it's something that is creamy, has petroleum jelly or petrolatum in the formula, a lot of oils that don't really dry down, I can't use them. And that foundation is full of it. I also believe that if you're not cleaning your face well, that foundation will clog your pores. And I would just about say you're going to have to use, if you're wearing that foundation every day, you're going to have to use a physical exfoliant every day to get that stuff cleaned out. But what happens when you don't clean your face well? Well, your face starts getting inflamed. You may get a pimple. You you just start looking bad if you're not getting your face clean every day. So I'm going to say I'm hanging up now, going to work. Y'all have a great day. Appreciate all of you for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.